Afternoon. Glad you're able to join us this afternoon. Well, let's update you on the breaking news in the last few minutes. Parliament's committee investigating the fitness for office of the Public Protector Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane. That meeting has literally just finished. It's resolved that it does have the legal authority, or let me put it another way, there is no legal impediment or reason why it cannot continue with this process to investigate her fitness for office. It's summons Mkhwebane to come and appear before the Parliamentary Committee in July. Mkhwebane had previously gone to the Constitutional Court arguing that she was being wrongly treated. She lost that case. She applied for judges to rescind that judgment. She lost that case. She's now asking them to look at the issue for a third time. She says she's the victim of a conspiracy. Several courts, as you know, have made findings about her conduct and has said that she has made findings in her position which cannot be allowed to stand in law. Helen Acton is a researcher at Good Governance Africa. Helen, good afternoon to you. Well, the breaking news then that Parliament's committee investigating the fitness for office of the Public Protector is going to continue its process. There seems to be quite an important moment in this process.
Yes, it is. The law is simple. There is no legal impediment to the impeachment inquiry going forward. And any attempts by the Public Protector to continually appeal and lodge rescission orders in the Constitutional Court are simply attempts to avoid accountability. So it is definitely an important moment for our constitutional democracy that the process is going forward and that Parliament is remaining resolved to continue with the process.
As I understand the constitutional clause on this, it means that the President, as I think the official wording is at the start of the parliamentary process, the President has the right to suspend the Public Protector. How do you understand that? Does that mean Parliament's had this meeting, it's made this decision, he could now suspend the Public Protector? Could it only happen in July? Do the lawyers have a different definition of begin from the one that I have?
So it's important to realize that there are two separate processes. The impeachment process is a parliamentary process, and then it's a separate power of the President to suspend the Public Protector during the impeachment process. So the President this is a power of the President. He can decide to suspend her. The process has begun. So he has this power now. But there have been communications between them for her to offer reasons why you should not suspend her. This is the President's power. This is completely separate to the parliamentary process and the impeachment inquiry. So any of her arguments in court that because the President was holding off on suspending her, the impeachment process needed to hold off, those have no legal basis. They're separate processes, and yes, the President has that power, and yes, Parliament has a separate power, and they must both go ahead with that on their own terms as per separation of powers. Okay,
so if I understand you correctly, the President, Cyril Ramaphosa, could suspend the Public Protector right now if he chose?
Yes, he has the power as per the Constitution during the process of the inquiry to decide to suspend her, and that is his prerogative.
I presume she would, of course, be able to legally challenge that decision, which would perhaps keep her in office while that case was being heard.
Yes, so as we can see from her previous behavior, she seems to be using the courts to wage political war. And so it is always possible to challenge the decision of a public power on the basis of the principle of legality, rationality, lawfulness. She has very little likelihood of success on this front, but of course she can take it to the courts. It's just that her constant appeals, constant litigation attempts on very dubious legal grounds are simply undermining the judiciary, undermining the office of the Public Protector, and undermining the rule of law. But I don't put it past her to continue to try to do this as per the Stalingrad legal defense strategy that is so popular.
Well, I mean, it's a city in Russia that's certainly had a big impact on our law and on our politics, but this is the issue. As I understand it, she went to the Constitutional Court, asked judges to make an application. They turned her down. She asked for a rescission of that. They turned her down. She's now asked them to have a look at that rescission judgment. So she's asked the same group of judges for a third time the same question. I mean, I sort of run out of words of how to describe that.
Exactly, and her arguments are that now that the Constitutional Court decided not to hear her, I lose track of her third rescission application on this matter, she's saying now she's being denied the right to a fair trial, denied the right to be heard, and this is rubbish because she doesn't have legal grounds each time she's coming back with no better legal argument. As I said, the law is simple, but the politics is more complicated. And she's somehow merging the law and the politics, which is not how it should be done. There is simply no legal basis to keep returning to the Constitutional Court. And so by the court deciding not to hear her rescission application because it's ill-conceived, she's not being denied any legal rights on that front.
In the meantime, the Public Protector's Office, now it will continue to run, it will continue to conduct investigations, but there must surely be, I suppose, some weakening or some damage, or maybe put it another way, the Public Protector herself is not able to concentrate on her actual job. That must have an impact.
Definitely. I mean, I think the very obvious incompetence and bias that she has shown, and now all this litigation is clearly distracting her from her duties and has completely destroyed the reputation of the Public Protector. And from a good governance perspective, the Office of the Public Protector is so vital to our constitutional democracy, holding the executive to account. But at the moment, she seems to rather be protecting certain members of the executive, going after members of the executive who shouldn't be sought after, and she's completely undermined the office as a tool of good governance. So our constitutional democracy really is in danger as long as she remains in power.
Strong view there. Helen Acton, thank you, researcher at Good Governance Africa. I do appreciate the time.